to the Album Man, and today I'm taking a look at the new album from the master of instrumentals, the British institution and icon Mike Oldfield, the multi-instrumentalist who has brought us some of the most popular but also experimental and stunning instrumental progressive rock in the history of the medium. And of course he's most famous for his landmark multi-platinum selling album Tubular Bells. Not only his debut but the first release on the then newly formed Virgin Records. It's an immense piece of genius, and then followed up by albums such as Hedges Ridge, Incantations and Dawn, which were just brilliant. Unfortunately I don't own Incantations, but I do have Hedges Ridge, Dawn and Tubular Bells on vinyl, which is how it should be heard. They certainly sound absolutely fantastic. But then the 80s, they started to go a little bit more pop with albums like 5 Miles Out and QE2 having some more prominent vocals and 3-minute pop singles. And to say they still didn't have epics. I mean, 5 Miles Out has Taurus 2, which is a 20-minute nearly instrumental song, but then it also has Family Man and you know, then you get, I think it's Crisis, which has Moonlight Shadow and Shadow on a Wall, two of Mike Oldfield's most popular songs. Yeah, Crisis as well is quite a poppy album. And I can't say I'm a big fan of his sort of more cheesy 80s pop rock. I prefer the sprawling instrumental Oldfield. And after Mike became inspired after his 2012 London Olympics performance, he decided to bring us a new album entitled Man on the Rocks, and this marks a departure from his recent sort of new age and even classical, I think it was his last album work. Here we find a rock album with the pretty much unknown vocalist Luke Spiller from the band The Struts. I can't say who the hell they are or who he is, and I honestly wasn't sure what to expect, but I can definitely tell you what I think of, well, what we have been given. So Sailing, that's what opens this, and I wouldn't say it's the best choice for a lead single from the album, due to the fact it's probably, well, maybe not one of the weakest, but it's certainly not one of the strongest songs on this album. It's not great. It's almost like if you took, I don't know, Moonlight Shadow and took all the interesting instrumentation away from it. This song, very 80s Oldfield, an acoustic guitar drives it to a fairly bland, uninspired chorus. So while it may be kind of catchy, it doesn't really make me want to listen to the song. The song right here is just bland. It's fairly run-of-the-mill performance, as well vocally from the Freddie Mercury lookalike. Seriously, look at Luke Spiller. He looks so like Freddie, but without the mustache. Yeah, very safe, nothing out of the ordinary, just simple 80s style pop song. I mean, the lead guitar I have to give some props to. It makes this song at least bearable and gives it a bit of life, which, well, I suppose is something. And Moonshine, well, again, it doesn't fill me with too much optimism, as Moonshine really makes me wish that I had some moonshine and could listen to it blind and drunk, because then I wouldn't notice the weaknesses, like the lyrics particularly here. I mean, across the album and across Mike Oldfield's career, I've never thought lyrics were his strong point. Not at all. They've never been great, but here, particularly Moonshine, they really don't hold up to scrutiny, and certainly don't connect or resonate with me for the duration of the album. I mean, I can't think of even one memorable line sung during the whole thing. And this song, I'm sorry, it's so very boring. And yes, there is that sort of Celtic Irish jig type vibe to it, and there is that you know, alright Irish, or as I say, jig section. But I don't really want a Mike Oldfield song that I could do some Irish dancing along to. I want something that's going to mesmerise me with complex beauty. Not something that doesn't differentiate itself from average soft rock. Fairly simplistic sort of ballady song, and instrumentally from an artist such as Mike, it's disappointing. Even the solo isn't all that great. Title track, it's somewhat better actually, I have to say. It's nice. I mean, there's a okay crescendo to it. I mean, I would say that the song is a little slow getting started, with the first acoustic segment being, again, fairly bland. But when it actually gets going, we get to see finally what Luke is capable of vocally. Here, he is able to let go a little bit and really put everything into it, which sounds a lot better, especially when combined with the cool guitar solo from, I assume, Mike, and creates a really nice effect. Just, yeah, comes together nicely and effectively. Castaway encapsulates the phrase dull as dishwater, I'm afraid. Just, what is there honestly to enjoy about this song? Until you get to the solo is actually really quite good. But as someone who loves Mike Oldfield and the diverse progressive music, just, even when the song gets going, it's still no more than pleasant background music. Yeah, again, the main draw is the guitar solo, which, as usual, is impeccable. And here on Castaway, it's probably the best on the album. Still, a song needs more than just a good guitar solo to be a good song, and Luke just singing the word castaway, I'm afraid, doesn't really help. Minutes. Seriously, just, wow. This song, Minutes, sounds like every other goddamn song on this godforsaken album of Save Mediocrity. It reminds me so far a bit of this album of Eric Clapton's Old Sock, as in an older musician doing safe, dull, uninspired music, almost as if they don't really give a damn. And that's not a good thing. No, Mr. Oldfield, it certainly ain't, because Eric Clapton's Old Sock was pretty bad, honestly. Vocally, Minutes is so dull, I don't even know vocally how Luke stayed awake while recording it. It didn't go anywhere meaningful, go bloody anywhere at all. Instead, it stays the same and wasted, well, minutes of my life. And no, I'm not pardoning the pun, because it was bloody deliberate. This song's that boring. And yeah, I mean, these are minutes I could be using to listen to Armageddon, but no, stuck with this. And now, Dreaming in the Wind. Now, this actually really does quite remind me a bit of Moonlight Shadow. A little bit. Like, a tiny bit at the beginning. I don't know. It sort of does. I bet, as I said. Anyway, I get that vibe, except, of course, it doesn't have Maggie O'Reilly on vocals. Instead, we have Luke. Yeah. And let's look at the positives about this album vocally. Well, positives about this album vocally. Positives. Well, it doesn't use a vocoder. That's something, because I hate bloody Mike Oldfield's use of vocoders. I've never thought they worked that well. I mean, I don't have anything against a vocoder, necessarily. Just his usage of them. I'm pleased there's no vocoders on here, so that's good. Yeah. Anyway, Dreaming in the Wind. It sounds honestly like sort of copyright-free background music that you just play in the background of a video, or you'd maybe play just for noise and not pay actually any attention to what is going on. I mean, this song is basically a lullaby for babies. That really sums it up. Nuclear. Hold on. What is that I hear? No, surely. A genuinely good song? Oh yes, Nuclear is a genuinely good song. I didn't think it was possible. I was losing all hope, all will to live. But no, this song is actually pretty good. I'd say it's my favourite, with the standout performance having to go to Luke vocally. He shows that he is a talented vocalist as the song builds to a genuine crescendo and another fantastic guitar solo. The chorus is catchy, passionately performed and underpinned by some rather lively guitar. Well, that's good, isn't it? Yes, and it is. Nuclear really is a good song. And if you're going to listen to a song to get a general impression, I definitely recommend starting with Nuclear. Probably the only song, well, one of the only songs I would actually recommend from this album. Though, saying that, Chariot, the song after it, is actually another pretty good song. It's a bit rockier, and there's some, nice little guitar riffs in here and a hook that actually engages you. The difference with this song is that it actually has some life to it. It has some spark, some energy, which this album just lacks. Instead, it drains your energy because it feels, yes, it gives across that chilled vibe, and I can tell he's Mike Oldfield's trying to go for that, you know, you listen to Bahamas now and Man on the Rocks, trying to go for that chilled vibe, but it doesn't mean it makes for enjoyable listening. It makes for pleasant background music, and I don't really want that, I'm afraid. Some people will, and that's cool. If you want that and you like the album because of that, awesome. Personally, I like music that I can engage with a bit more, and that's why I think Chariot's definitely one of the better songs. Yeah. So now following the Angels, and this song is a bit of a shame because I thought we had a little run going on there, you know, with Nuclear and Chariots, but no. Oh no. I shouldn't have got too excited because this song is the cliche ballad to end all cliche ballads, even having the obligatory oversung female backing vocals at the end and in the chorus. It ticks all the boxes for a bloody dull affair. And then Irene. Penultimately, and oh god damn, the riffs on this remind me of Dire Straits. Like seriously, on Irene, at the beginning, I was expecting to hear Mark Knopfler come in, but alas, he does not. No, the song lacks the quality of a Dire Straits song. I mean, at least it's a bit more rock than some of the others, which is kind of cool, because that tends to be when Luke's voice shines the most, honestly. Like, he's not wonderful at ballads. Like, he's good at the rock songs, but Mike Oldfield doesn't really seem to want to do too many of those, and still, even here, this is a rather forgettable experience. And then finally, we have I Give Myself Away, which is yet another freaking ballad, because of course the rest of the album's so heavy. I like a ballad that goes somewhere satisfying, that has breathtaking crescendos, not one that has such mild crescendos you don't even notice there is one, really. You have to look so hard, get your microscope out and I don't know, put it to your ear and try and, I don't even know how that would work in any way, shape or form, but still, that's how low metaphors are getting, because that's how low Mike Oldfield's sunk. Yeah, bland, bad attempt at a closing ballad, and it's about as inspired as, I don't even know. It's that inspired. God damn. This album overall, though, it ain't awful. No, it's a pleasant, though really just frustrating experience. I can very much understand that this album is more to cater towards those who enjoyed 5 Miles Out and QE2 than it is for those of us who enjoyed On the Dawn and Hedges Ridge, but still, someone of Mike Oldfield's immense talent and genius should be capable of creating something more memorable and complex, more interesting, diverse than a throwaway album full of dull ballads and cliche hooks. If he does another album, I really hope he ditches the vocalist. Like, you know, no offence to Luke, he did try on this album, but really the source material is not up to snuff, and I don't see what he really could have done better. He's a talented guy, has a decent voice. I'm not sure a lot of this music really was suited to his strong suits. I'm not too sure. But don't take this as me saying that I want Mike Oldfield to practically, you know, remake a 70s instrumental album, really go back, you know, be nostalgic. No, I just want to do something a bit more forward. I want the king of multi-instrumentalists, the experimental god, to do something worthy of someone's time, honestly. I'm going to give this album a 4.5 out of 10. I really don't particularly recommend it, of course, as I said, unless you really did enjoy 5 Miles Out, QE2, Crisis, the more poppy stuff, or if you want something that you can just chill out to, then you probably like this, something you can just put in the background, not really pay attention to it, but it's pleasant, it's nice, you think, oh, that was alright, yeah. But don't expect something that you can, you know, sit down, listen to intently and really engage with it, because it's not that type of album, it really isn't. There's far better Mike Oldfield albums out there, I would say. I'd love to know your opinions on this album, what you thought, if you love it, hate it. And anyway, this has been The Album Man. Thanks for watching, comment, subscribe, and as usual, long live rock and roll.